That's it.
Good night, Josh.
All right, later, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah.
Now we can do the real podcast.
This is a whole podcast about game shows.
First game show we're going to talk about tonight is...
we're going to talk about...
Let's Make a Bet.
Let's Make a Bet.
So, what did you think of the most recent episode of Let's Make a Bet?
Well, I thought some of the bets were a little weak.
Yeah, I think in the bet department, they weren't making them... they weren't being encouraged to make enough bets.
Yeah, the bets were just lacking in complexity. They just weren't. They weren't very dynamic. You know,
No.
when I think of a Let's Make a Bet, I'm looking for something that's gonna pull me in, a story.
Yeah, you have Monty Clark up there doing his thing. What's up, guys? Place your bets.
Here's a bet.
He says his famous thing. What does he say, Gregg? He says, place your bets.
He goes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, let's place
your
bet.
A bet.
And he does the thing with the E. He's like, bet.
Bet. Yeah, right. Well, because it's
a sheep show. Yeah,
it's the
got
show.
The sheep.
The show.
Really,
right on.
The host, Monty Clark, he's animated. He's a CG sheep.
Yeah, that's what he is. It's like, remember the Whammies?
Yeah.
There's a sheep, and they.
So what about that? How about that Snowden guy?
Snowden.
Yeah.
Snowden. Ralph.
More like Snow. Duh. Who cares about this guy anymore?
Hey everybody, welcome to AwayCast 01313. Don't get mad at me, Josh. It's 13 or 013. I don't know how you want to
You
do
got a
it.
style. You can do it how you want to do it. You got a style.
We got to stick with it no matter what we do it. And you don't speak until you say,
What up, yo?
there
Is that
you
what
go.
you wanted? Is that
What's
what-
up?
You wanted me to dance for you? I'll dance.
You better. You
Now
better.
It'll make you
available
happy.
the What Up Yo commemorative visor. It's a visor you wear on your
Greg's
head.
selling
It says-
merchandise that Josh is pushing.
says What Up Yo on it.
Josh is here with us this week. And guess what? Greg's here too.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, all of our people out there. How is everyone
all
today?
9 of you.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in, listening, sticking around. If you're here for your first time, welcome. This is the AwayCast.
And I have to say, after last week when I said I'm upset that we don't get any emails, we got a flood of emails.
Flood. Like, I can't even see over the stack of emails that we're looking at right now.
Oh, thank you. I got a couple names I want to run down the list.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Jessica. And thank you, Laura. And we appreciate your fan mail and all the nice things you guys say.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And we appreciate you listening to us ask that you only give your first names when you give us your emails. So
Yeah.
we appreciate all your hard work.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
And please send more.
Yeah, keep them coming. You know, we appreciate all the... I like how we pretend like we got these emails and like we don't even make mention of what was in them. We're just like, thanks. Thank you. Thank you for the emails.
There's money in them. Obviously, you know that if you're going to write us emails, you send PayPal money with
PayPal?
it. Yes.
Hey, I'll accept. That goes towards all the fun stuff that I'll be giving away at WizCon this weekend, Sunday, in New York City.
John's going to have a kissing booth.
I'll have a kissing booth, lemonade stand. We're going to have... Gregg is going to be in the dunk tank.
I'll have it's just going to be a carnival. Our little section's going to be a carnival, the AwayCast Carnival.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually sounds like one of the best things you would find at WizCon.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking, John, that's what we should do. If we get the Comic Con booth, we should just make like a carnival.
And what should we have?
We'll have
Everything you just mentioned.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
should do the fucking dunk tank, the kissing booth.
There's probably got to be like a permit for me to get a dunk tank in a Comic-Con.
I will stick my head inside a lion's mouth.
I don't think
will
so.
make-
We can do that.
I think as long as other people aren't getting dunked, you know what you do is you have me up there dressed in like a Reggie outfit.
I don't even think people want to come near you.
I'll be up in the dunk tank in a Reggie suit. A big, scary, squishy Reggie
And when people
suit.
are walking by, you got to be, play the game.
Yeah,
play
just
the
yell
Oh
at
my
game.
God, that's
Play
perfect.
the games.
That's
And you
perfect.
get dunked over and over
Play
and
the
over.
game.
Oh my God, that
Play
would be
the
so
game.
funny.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's our claim to fame.
Or if not, we can just I'll bring a paintball gun. We'll have you stand there.
Because
I'm worried that we're not going to get all this water. They're not going to bring a hose into Comic Con and be like, "Here, fill up."
We fill it with like those balls.
Oh, a ball pit. But then there's no repercussions. It's just like
it's Reggie falling on some balls.
Maybe we can do Jello.
Yeah. Don't bring any water in here, but yeah, bring 1,000 pounds of Jello.
Well,
not only that, but can you imagine how sticky Jello would be after falling into it throughout an entire day?
Reggie would be a disaster. He'd be very sticky.
So is it actually morphed to the point where we're bringing Reggie into this? We are hiring Reggie to come do this?
No. It'd be me in a squishy Reggie costume.
Okay.
Like a sumo, one of those sumo costumes that you see?
I have to imagine Reggie's not going to have much time pretty soon. Going to have too much time pretty soon. He can come on down and do this for us.
Do you mean he's going to die soon?
No, I mean that he's going to be fired soon.
He's taking that company down with him if they go anywhere.
I think if anything, I think he's going to die soon. We could probably
go down with the ship
corpse.
as a captain.
Yeah, well, not in a valiant type of way. He'll go down with his ship like strapping grenades to his chest. Like, I'm taking this fucker down.
I know every dark secret you guys have.
Exactly. He holds the paper to all the IPs. He's like, this is it. You see me go, that's it. You're losing Mario.
Yeah.
Mario.
I
think we should, I don't know. We got to think of stuff to do at the Comic-Con booth. Or if we even get it.
I think we just thought of stuff. Carnival. We make it look like Carnival.
I like that. I like Carnival.
We get an elephant. People
Should I dress up like one of those old carnival guys? Like, hey, come now, come everyone.
Yes.
Is that the ringleader? Isn't that what they call him?
No, that's a circus, not a carnival.
Oh, yeah, no, I am bleeding these together.
Circus, carnival.
I think that's a common thing. A lot of people mix the circus and the carnival.
I think they're the same.
No, I think maybe you can have the circus in the carnival, but you can't have a carnival in the circus.
Okay, I think I get what you're saying. I have never been to a circus, so maybe that's where...
You never been to Barnum and Bailey's?
No, they always came and I always wanted to go, and my mom always told me to shut the hell up and eat dinner. So.
Yeah, that's good parenting.
Yeah, that is good parenting. And look how you turned out.
Yeah, it's a shining example, writing about video games. She couldn't be more proud.
Yep.
Oh, man. I was talking to my my aunt yesterday about video games and how, like, I think... my girlfriend's pretty cool because she's trying to start to play video games, and they laughed at me. They're like, it felt so terrible. They were just like, "You guys, what did you have her playing? Tell her to cook something. Tell her what is she doing that for?"
God.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just weird for that generation to notice that.
I'm gonna have to agree with them. I think you're doing I think games are for boys and dishes are for girls.
Oh no!
You need to kind of set that up the right way. You need to hit her a little bit, give her a little smack.
Oh, man. We're treading some dangerous territory right now.
I don't think so.
In our Comic-Con booth, after Reggie, we're going to have Reggie, and you're Gregg. You're wearing a Reggie suit.
Correct.
Right. Okay. And then what's the next event? Let's line up 3 events real quick right now. Reggie suit. Dunk tank.
That's the same event.
Or maybe we have you spinning around on one of those things and people throw knives.
Jesus God, are we putting his life at risk?
No, see, you know what you're making me do, Josh? You're making me think of a circus because they do that at the circus, not the carnival.
Nintendogs face paint.
Yeah, you know what's fucking weird?
I could face paint people. Let me tell you.
There we go.
I have no artistic talent whatsoever, so it'd be doubly enjoyable for everyone.
They call people that work in the circus carnies, right?
Because of the
Isn't
carnival.
that what they call people that work at the carnival? Aren't they carnies?
Yeah, but don't
They're
someone who's in the
thing,
flying
man.
No, it's not.
Carnivals
They're different.
travel with the circus. It's like the little thing you do before you go into the big tent.
Okay.
Every circus is a carnival, but not every carnival is a circus.
Yeah,
right?
but I think you're being really general now. I think maybe you could find a circus without a carnival.
Never.
Are we committing to the circus or not? I just want to make sure that I mentally prepare myself.
So now we're gonna have a circus?
Stick my head inside, inside a lion's mouth. I will do it.
Let's be a little realistic here. If we get a booth, it's gonna be a small one.
It's gonna be small, and we're gonna give away T-shirts.
And
if
we tell them, if we say, listen, we're gonna bring in a dunk tank, they're gonna say, no, you're fucking not. Okay, you're not. Who do you think you are? Okay, the only way we can make anything fun out of this is if someone dresses up as Reggie and we let people throw tennis balls at them.
That'll be you. You're gonna be Reggie. I think this weekend at WizCon, I'm gonna put some shit together, and Josh, I got 100 of those drawstring bags made up, like to put swag in.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know. I have 100 of those, and I'm out of t-shirts. I sent my stuff out to you today, Josh, and
oh, nice.
Everybody else who wanted an AwayCast t-shirt is getting it in the mail. But I think maybe I'll do some trivia questions. Maybe be like, hey, so fucking.
What, are you just gonna just walk around and be like, you?
I'd be like, hey, you. And I have I got a MixLR account or Mixlr account, so I could do that like it's a mobile podcast type thing. I don't know. I'm gonna fucking wing it. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I don't know.
Obviously,
I'm gonna give away some shit. I got stickers. It's like the first push, the first marketing push. It's like the most lame shit. I can't give away anything.
When you open the bags, they're gonna have glow sticks in them.
There's gonna be Pop Rocks
and
glow sticks,
dude. But you see, it's funny. But if you put Pop Rocks in the bags, people will be like, "Fuck yes."
Coupons.
That's true. That's actually true.
Fun dip.
Hey, John was saying, what if he bought 100 Humble Bundles for a penny each and put the codes for them in the bags?
Like, yo, I'm giving away games.
I guess, that is very nice for you on the marketing end. Like, if I got a Humble Bundle, I'd be pretty jacked about that.
Are you
kind of a giant middle finger?
Yeah, are you a dick to the industry, though, if you do that? To the developers?
Yeah, no, you definitely are. Or to the charities that are part of Humble Bundle.
Yeah, that's the real problem. Where I have the problem with the morale.
Fuck you, Child's Play. What, you want my money?
Yeah. Can you split that penny? One half of that penny to the developers. One half to...
This is really funny imagining the people at Humble Bundle cutting up a penny and sliding it across to the charity.
Giving them
Meanwhile,
the smaller half.
line of hungry children are behind them.
Sorry, we sold 10,000 today and we've only made $3.
Some dick named John Azalona.
Weird. Oh, whatever. Wishful thinking. Right? I'm trying.
It's possible. Hey, they left themselves open to it.
They did. That's what I said to Gregg. I said, well, that's what they offer. I can't. I don't know. So speaking of Reggie, I was playing Wii U the other day, and his little me was in the me town center, or whatever the fuck is that stupid shit is called, the Miiverse, and he was standing in the middle shouting. I clicked on him, just say what's up to Reggie. But I played Super.
And he was like, "Play the game."
Is that what he said to you?
No, dude. Even his me is scary. It's intimidating.
He's an intimidating man.
Yeah. Well, I played Super Luigi U. I don't know. Do you want to talk about video games yet? I feel like we're jumping into it already.
We've been talking for 24 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. Sure.
Talk video games. That is the point that we're here to do, right?
We'll get there in a second. I mean, we're doing this podcast a little later in the week. So, how was Gregg? Gregg, how was your weekend this weekend?
This weekend I didn't do anything. If you go back, it's funny because if you go back and listen to our podcast, usually it's me. I go, I didn't do anything because I don't, and then it's John going, I went to a wedding.
I didn't this weekend. I didn't do any wedding related activities.
Wait, did we do
weekend.
Something this weekend? Did we hang out Friday?
Yeah, Friday we hung out.
Went to a party. We had a party for friends.
Friday we went
and then we got breakfast in the morning.
Well, our friends from Boston came down. Brian. Hi, Brian.
Let's use the term friends very, very loosely here.
Yeah.
These guys are not our friends.
So Brian and his lady and his brother came down and they hung out in my area. Oh, and it was Mikey's birthday. So we did a little local shindig on Friday. Went to a couple bars.
Our buddy Mike Califano, he's a huge gamer, mainly Nintendo guy.
Only Nintendo.
Really only plays Nintendo. This is the one guy we always get into it about with Nintendo, Mike Califano.
Yep.
And we try to get him on the show, and he just won't come on.
because he never sees the point about anything ever. So
what's the point talking to, I gotta play Mario All-Stars all day.
All day. Lost levels.
Yeah, I gotta get home and do Mario RPG tonight.
So what is his argument when you get into it about Nintendo? What is his
it's just like
counterpoint?
He's like, play the games. Play the games.
Josh, Mike hates fucking Nintendo so much. He's the angriest of all Nintendo.
I was really hoping we could have just gone the whole podcast saying he liked Nintendo a lot, John.
Right, but then Josh asked the question. And
we could have just
ruined
said
it. I'm sorry.
No,
the
he didn't.
illusion is
John,
broken.
You did not ruin it. John ruined it. All John had to do was be like his favorite game. What he says is that they're better because they make classic games for
anybody
fun
that
family.
listens isn't going to know except for Mike.
I know. So?
And man, would he be upset.
That's the point, man. We
Angry email right
understand.
there.
Mike doesn't even listen to the podcast anymore.
Yeah, he stopped after like episode 2.
Yeah, he was like, you guys are okay. I don't see the point. I don't see the point of all this. This is, I don't see the point. It's kind of dumb. I don't see the point.
I'm at work. I have to do work.
I'll tell you what. He's gonna help me fucking pass out some AwayCast shit this weekend. Fucker. But anyway, we went out to the bars, and it was fun. We got drunk, and Saturday morning we went out for breakfast. It was nice.
We went to a nice little diner in the morning. Was,
what else happened Saturday?
It's good.
Something else happened Saturday.
Not with me.
I don't remember. And then Sunday I went out. It was my grandma's birthday. We met her out for breakfast.
Who cares? Old people's birthdays. Next.
It was fun. Oh, and I went to Patchogue and had a little drink. It was a beautiful day. Had a little drink on the water. But this was about you, wasn't it, Greg? This was about your weekend.
I already told you I didn't do anything.
Josh, how was your weekend?
I was.
All right.
It was all right. I played a shit ton of Fire Emblem. Like, I didn't do really anything this weekend. We went to the bar that opened up across the street that Gregg can't stand.
I love that
Gregg
bar.
hates it.
The Cornhusker Inn.
And then I started watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is pretty good.
Actually, let me go back to my weekend real quick. I played Last of Us over the weekend.
All right.
I played a game over the weekend.
Greg played a video game.
I forgot that I did that this weekend.
That sounds like a fucking party. And did you like it?
Yes.
Good.
We don't have to talk about it anymore.
Let's the one of the games that's candidate for Game of the Year at this point. I guess we got Greg's review. Good. Right?
Good out of good.
So last time we talked about The Last of Us last week.
I
Josh
gave a very fair rating on it last
0
week.
out of 0, Greg said.
That was fair.
Josh had finished it at that point, and I don't know if we want to run a spoiler cast right now, but that I really liked the ending, Josh. I really liked it, I have to say.
Did it catch you off guard a little bit?
Yeah, and that's what I liked about it. It made me uncomfortable, and that's the point.
A little bit with me. I was saying the whole time, fuck, I can't really talk about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Talk around it a little bit.
Right, I'm going to talk around it a little bit. Because I knew that I knew that it was going to go one of two ways once we got to the end of the game.
That's exactly what I thought too.
And I knew it was going to go, either one or two. And I thought maybe they were going to make me make a decision. I thought that I was going to be like, well, I could either do this one or I can do this one. And I was thinking before I even got to the place that I was going to do the selfish thing, no matter if I had the choice.
Right.
The choice.
Okay.
Just because I've become attached to a particular character, and that's just, I said, fuck it,
Mm-hmm.
So that was already how I was thinking I was going to do things, but I didn't really even give the game a chance to make an option for me. If there was the option, the second I walked into a particular room where there were people doing a particular thing to a particular person, I blasted all of them in the face without even letting them say anything. There was someone on the floor like, "Why did you please don't do this?" I blasted her right in the face. I didn't even think about it.
Right before that moment, I saved, and I was like, "Okay, let's see what happens." I played it the safe way.
I was enraged. I was one with my character. I was one with Joel. I was just completely in rage mode. Just fuck everyone. And and I kind of like, maybe next week we will talk about it because more people have played the game. But I actually liked how the game ended.
Yeah.
See, that's exactly what I really love about that ending. Is first off, like, you know, I think there is a choice there. And the fact that most people probably think it's a choice scenario shows that it does a really good job of creating shades of gray. Because I've heard other people come out and say the ending is, I'm trying to think of the best non-spoiler way to say this. The ending is bad. It is the bad ending. You know what I mean? Like,
Right, like it's the dark ending.
exactly.
Yeah,
Other people, myself included, come out saying, I think there's shades of gray. I think that there's many different ways you can take that, you know?
Well, that's the best thing about the ending. It's just anything, any kind of art, any story, anything that makes you feel uncomfortable or makes you feel like you have to fill in the gaps, whereas they did enough to the point of where you have to use your knowledge or anything that you've gotten from the game. When it leaves it up to you, I think that's terrific story writing / art. Anything, any medium that's open to interpretation, when they leave like just the tip for you to put the cap on, I think that's perfect.
If anything, what they do for you at the end is they say, look, this is a bad world. No matter who you are, the way the world is now, nobody's a good guy anymore, and everyone is just going to do what they want for themselves.
Right.
Yeah, and I think they do a great job. So many video games want to tie a pretty bow on it. And like, you know, say like, oh, and everything's resolved, whether for good or for worse, everything is done and resolved. Whereas I thought this game broke the pieces, threw them in your lap and said, hey, fucking deal with it.
Right, exactly. And that's, you know, nowadays, I compared it, even before I beat the game, I compared The Last of Us to the Walking Dead comic book, and even more so after the ending. It was just like, the tone of it is just so perfect, and it even reminds me of Game of Thrones a little bit. I know we were just talking about that, but it's open to so much interpretation because every character is gray. Like, they have their good, they have their bad, they have their uncomfortable, they leave you to think about it. Like, who do you favor? You don't favor the righteous or the evil. You favor whoever you gravitate more towards, where you fill in the gap. And it works that way in The Last of Us, and that's why I think it's really good storytelling. I do have a couple of problems with the game. So I don't think it was a 10 out of 10, like a lot of outlets seem to give it. I thought a lot of the, you know, quote unquote puzzle type areas, like with Joel and the ladder, and Joel and the plank, and Joel and the getting Ellie to safety over water. It's that stuff was kind of predictable when you got to an area that resembled you know, an earlier iteration of that. I thought that maybe they could have integrated it a little more seamlessly. But that and the AI at certain times really bothered me.
It was kind of funny most of the time.
Yeah, it was definitely funny, but definitely immersion breaking.
Oh yeah, I mean, if anything, it ruined the moment because I'd be like, "What are you doing?" Like yeah. I'd be like in complete sneak mode, stealth mode. Like there's one instance that I was telling John about where you're at this particular place, and some guys, you're in the top floor of a house, and you're with your brother Tommy and Ellie, and a bunch of guys come in the house, and Tommy's like, all right, there's guys in the house, and you're like, just stay here. Joel says to him, I'm gonna take care of this. So the idea is to be sneaky and pick them off so they don't hear you. That's kind of like what a lot of the game is. And I'm crawling around the house, like walking behind guys, and Tommy is just running up in front of them, walking around them in circles, like just walking around the whole house, standing next to the guy before I kill him. And like the guys don't see him, so it doesn't ruin it for him. But it's kind of like, what the fuck is going on here?
Right. It would be more immersive if they saw him and you could be like, Tommy, what the like verbally you get to that point where like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And it's worse that he didn't fuck it up, that they don't see him, that the AI doesn't acknowledge the friendly AI.
They should have just made it so that they just stay put.
That's what I was gonna say. I think you hit the nail on the head, Greg. Like whenever they come up with a creative way to separate Joel from whatever, and there's always at least one AI companion, and at one point, like I think the max they have is 3 at one point. And when they're just out of the way, sometimes they'll just be like, all right, you go do this, and you'll just take care of it, and that's when it's at the best. But like when you have those people running around, and I particularly thought the moment when suddenly you have 3 other people you're trying to like keep tabs on, it gets really cumbersome. When you're escaping Pittsburgh.
When you have 3 people with you?
Yep.
Yeah, you have Ellie, and then you have the guy and his younger brother.
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about them.
Yeah. I thought that was their whole arc was great. Talk about Shades of Grey. Echoes back and forth. So
Naughty Dog has proven that they are the best at doing their thing. They have a very specific type of game that they're very good at making. And this, what was great about Uncharted was, all the storytelling and stuff like that, but there was a level of visceral storytelling that was missing from that, of just groundedness that they nailed with this game. And I don't think anyone can probably take on that specific type of game better than what they've done right now.
I think what they need to do is go back and retell the story of Crash Bandicoot.
I was just gonna say that, you son of a bitch. I was like,
super grounded Crash Bandicoot
in this style, just a really
gritty reboot of Crash Bandicoot.
But the thing is, it won't be a Bandicoot. It'll be a guy named Crash. And he'll be like a drug addict, a recovering drug addict. That's why they call him Crash. He's always Crash.
Is he still like a giant fox?
No, he's just a regular dude. And
Crash is a bandicoot. What do you mean fox? A bandicoot's an actual animal.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
My zoology is failing me.
Is he still like a fox? Star fox?
Looked like a fox to me.
He's a
fox when I see one.
Bandicoot. What do you think the word bandicoot was?
I had no idea.
Just some crazy
his
made
last
up
name. It's his last name.
Yeah, I was 11 when this game came out. Cut me some slack.
All right. Fine. Go check out some bandicoots when you get a chance.
Yeah, I'll Google image them as soon as we're done here.
Do it. And you know what? It's funny when they translate animals into anthropomorphic creatures for video games. It's like Sonic does not look like a hedgehog. Knuckles does not look like an echidna, whatever the fuck it is.
Wait, so a hedgehog is an animal too? No, I'm just kidding.
I know you're kidding. Okay, I'm waiting for you to say you're sorry.
No, I'm not apologizing for that.
Okay, I heard you apologize for that. Okay, so The Last of Us, awesome, very good game. 9 out of 10, big niner.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 1 out of 1.
5 sloppy wet kisses and 6 shiv. Some people said they had a problem with the fact that Ellie has a knife and Joel just has these shivs that break all the time. Did you find that to be a little strange?
No,
First
not
of all,
really.
what I thought was strange is that the shivs broke. That shit wouldn't break.
Right. I mean, we obviously know why they kept it, but
yeah. But
it's a little
the
strange.
first thing I did was upgrade all I was upgrading in the beginning was my shiv, because you have personal upgrades.
Yeah. What skill did you guys go with first? I saved all the way up for the clicker.
Yeah, me too. The shivs.
The 100.
Yeah. That was the first thing I did was the shivs to kill the clickers.
Yeah.
I upgraded health first. I think I just maxed out my health, and then I started focusing on
that was the
other
last
things.
thing I did. It was the shivs, and then it was the what's the other one? Not weapon sway.
I did sway also, yeah. And then there's the crafting times, health,
No, there's another one. I don't. Actually, it might have been shiv, health, and sway is what I worked on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the knife thing didn't really bother me because also if you go fisticuffs with Ellie, she gets her ass kicked. You either need to be super stealth or shooting something with her.
Right.
They'll take away at least half your life if you're just going to fight it out with someone. So I felt like the knife was just a little more appropriate.
Right. So I loved it. I thought it was good. Do you play multiplayer yet, Josh?
Yeah, I put in probably 5 to 10 hours in multiplayer.
Oh, really? What'd you think of it?
It's good. I mean, it's really solid. I think you guys know my inherent feelings about multiplayer
Right,
in
you
general.
don't like playing with people because you hate people.
I am just a fucking troll living in my living room.
Exactly.
I can't help that. But
I don't even know what a bandicoot is.
I think thematically it tied into the single player better than any game that has done this ad hoc multiplayer stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I like how they brought the crafting system over. It adds a little. Did you play both modes?
Yeah,
I like the ladder mode better. The one and done type thing. It's like Counter-Strike round-based type of. I mean, the gameplay is totally different than that, obviously, but there's not too many. It's like search and destroy, I guess.
it's very much like so often these multiplayer modes are just repetitive. It's just team deathmatch, yada yada yada. Where that one actually does a cool way of building suspension in interesting facets. Like, basically you can whittle yourself down, so it's just like one guy on three guys, and you're just hoping that stealth can get you through to the next round. I think that it just I don't know, they just seem to think about it a little bit more than most people do.
I think multiplayer games that offer that kind of tension, where it can be like a 1-on-3 situation and you could totally clutch the game, like a one guy could take down three while your team's watching. Like, that's how Counter-Strike was or is still, and in Search and Destroy or in Call of Duty. It adds that element of like, when you do it, you're like, fuck yeah, I fucking did that.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it was cool. I didn't spend too much time. I actually lent Gregg Last of Us, so when I get that back, maybe I'll spend some more time with it. But yeah, I'm excited. You know what? I was looking today on Amazon, and I was thinking, about a month ago, I was like, man, this the rest of the year is pretty dead for games. And I looked, and there's just so many games still coming out.
Yeah, dude.
I can't believe that there's still a lineup left. I mean, obviously Grand Theft Auto, but then like Killer is Dead, I saw. God, what were the other games? There was like 5 games.
In August through October, you're looking at XCOM, The Bureau, Splinter Cell Blacklist, Saints Row 4. And then you get into September, and Grand Theft Auto. October is going to have Beyond Two Souls, the new Arkham game. There's some heavy hitters still out there.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was kind of floored looking at it, because Amazon, I get all my games off Amazon. Amazon threw me recommendations, and I was like, holy shit, I still have fucking money to spend on this crap.
And then, we have consoles launching, so.
Oh, yeah. About that. Oh, yeah, Josh, you pre-ordered one, didn't you?
I pre-ordered them both. I have them both on pre-order.
Where did you get I know you pre-ordered your Xbox One at a GameStop, right?
Yeah, and then I pre-ordered the PlayStation 4 on Amazon.
Oh, that's exactly what I did. Cool.
Hey-o.
High five.
Yeah.
Speaking of games, Deadpool. I've been playing. Josh, you're a comic guy, right?
Yeah.
You love you read Deadpool comics?
I do not. I have, obviously, like, if you read Marvel at all, you are aware of his existence in the universe. And like, I have seen him come into works. Like, he buddies up with X-Men a lot, and so I know of the character. I knew like what his MO was.
Right.
Is he like a wacky guy?
Well, at first,
or did the game just need to be wacky?
Well, at first he wasn't wacky. Like, his deal is, in the beginning, he got his powers basically from Wolverine. He was like, I don't want to fuck this up. Comic people are gonna get mad. Basically, he has regenerative powers, but he had cancer, and like cancer took over his whole body. But then he got these regenerative powers, so he's constantly in this state of like the cancer is killing him, but the regenerative powers are healing him. And in the beginning, when Deadpool first came out, he was.
Wait, are his powers just to be alive?
Yeah, but he's considered a mercenary. Like, he's called the merc with the mouth, because he's like whatever,
right,
like that. Anyway, so when he first came out, he was kind of like evil, and the only reason that he was witty and funny was because he was insane, because he couldn't die. And it was like kind of this really dark arc for him, like, the fact that he couldn't die, he couldn't relate to anybody, he just ended up going completely crazy. That was from one of the first writers. I don't know his name, but as it progressed and he got different writers, like the progression of him being like this evil crazy guy turned into like this outlandishly crazy guy that like makes pop culture. I mean, he always broke the fourth wall, and that was what I loved about Deadpool, is just like completely self-aware kind of stuff. But they threw him way out there into like, I mean, Josh, you played the game.
Yeah. Well, and like, I thought the game did a decent job of this, but he's always like, there've been takes on him where he's super outlandish and, over the top. And then there are also versions of him where he is just psychotic. Like, he's just a fucking psychopath. And they're like, actually one of my favorite Deadpool frames is the one where he's found Archangel, and Archangel's like gotten the crap beaten out of him. He's lying on the ground and he's dying, and Deadpool like basically starts cutting pieces of his arm off and feeding them to Archangel to survive. and it's like this super, and like the whole time he's like talking to him in his demented little way, and it's
right.
amazing, like just take on Deadpool of like how fucking out there he is.
Yeah, see, I think I like that Deadpool a lot better than where he's come. I still like what they're doing with it, but I like the utilization of his powers and this demented, psychotic, just, over the top in a dark way, but also funny. Mm-hmm. It's almost like dark comedy when it gets to a certain point. But they've taken him in such a direction that it's just fucking insane. But I like it. I think the game treats it. I mean, it reminds me of Duke Nukem Forever. Gregg, you made the comparison to Saints Row, the Saints Row universe. But in the game, it's really funny. I thought the writing was really good, and like Nolan North does the voice for Deadpool, and it's, I guess, a little bit of a surprising turn for Nolan North, but it's really funny. Like I was openly laughing through most of the game, and like at one point it had me in tears. Like, right, it's really funny. I thought the funniest part was the on-screen text. They do a really good job with the way they handle like tutorials and the way they're like showing you your different abilities, and like if your special's charged up, your what's it called? Your momentum. Momentum. There you go. When that's charged up, he's like, yo, dummy, like use your momentum. Stop being an asshole. And it's an M-rated game, so they didn't have to like tone it down for any young audiences. Like he's throwing F-bombs and talking about dicks and shit. I don't know. It's crude humor, but after playing a game like The Last of Us and coming off of like all these serious games, I kind of need a mindless beat 'em up. Yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, just kind of like the gameplay is complex enough to keep my hands and mind working in unison, but at the same time, I'm shutting my brain off and just listening to Deadpool just rattle off all these jokes and all these funny visuals. There's a lot of care taken into just making it just like, it's like when you go to watch The Hangover or some shitty B comedy. You don't go there expecting, wonders in history to be made. But it's depth-wise, the story is incredibly thin, but it's very like the jokes are pretty smart. There's a lot of really unexpected humor in it. Like, obviously, you're aware you're always waiting for the next dick and fart joke, but right. Like, I mean, very early on, a joke is where he's like wondering how much C4 to put on. He's like, I guess I'll use all of it, and the camera cuts to like a bomb on the door, and then it pulls out to reveal like 100 bombs on the door, and it's just like it's the jokes like that where I'm like, not only is it written really well, but there's obviously some like really smart design work that went into this to like craft these jokes. I was really impressed by that. Absolutely, he's got some like, the Duke Nukem over the top, like bowls of steel type stuff, but he can also be like in that moment you're talking about when he's playing the C4. It reminds me of like a witty humor that maybe Jason Statham would have in an action movie where he'd be like, fuck it or bullocks or some shit. I don't know, but I don't know. It works for him. It's great. The gameplay has an upgrade. There's an upgrade tree. It's a typical beat 'em up. There's a lot of cameos. Wolverine's in it. Rogue, Cable, obviously, because Cable and Deadpool have that history. There's Taco Cable. And actually, like, I thought they did a really good job of like understanding the comics. Like, there's actually a reference. You must have gotten past that part, Johnny, right? Where they make a reference to the fact that Rogue doesn't fly anymore in the comics. Right. I just and like they basically. Yeah, and they like actually talk to the game. Like, they're obviously breaking the fourth wall all the time, but they talk to the game like, yes, we're aware that we broke this, canon. Fuck off. Yeah, and it's like you should move out of your parents' basement. Yeah, and the moments like that, I just think that's where they really stepped above and beyond. Now, where the game really falls flat is the gameplay. Like, yeah, it's stiff. The gameplay is stiff, but I'm saying, there's enough there to keep it interesting, and it's just a typical beat 'em up. Wait till you get like, because you're just about to get into the last third of the game, and like throughout the first 2/3, I was like, oh yeah, this is what it is. It's not like it's bad, but they make it so easy that it's not hard. Mm-hmm. But then once you get to the last third of the game, they really start chucking guys at you and really start trying to ramp up the difficulty to build to a climax. And that's when I really started to get frustrated when I'm like, these controls are now actively
actively making me lose, and that's when I get frustrated.
Yeah, it's definitely got its hang-ups with the controls. Well, what I like, I think, the most is that the premise, like High Moon Studios are the ones who made the game, and Deadpool is constantly like picking up his cell phone and calling them and being like, yo, my game is fucked up. Like, what's going on? There's a part where you get into like a kind of I don't want to spoil it. It's not really a spoiler. Like a top-down old school dungeon crawler. And they were like, he calls High Moon Studios and he's like, guys, what the fuck happened? He's like, Deadpool, you went over the budget on the first one. On the first level, so many explosions and all this shit happened. We couldn't afford graphics in the next one. I don't know. Stuff like that's cute.
It's
fucking
good. It's
cute.
super, super clever. And the writing, like I said, the writing's really, really great. The narrative is interesting too, because like even for Deadpool, like a Deadpool wouldn't have a narrative. It's not like a emotional arc. There's no arc to the story. Even he literally just goes and does things, and you can tell that there's stuff going on in the background. Like Cable's trying to tell you what to do, and Deadpool's actively not listening to him and like imagining different things. And occasionally he'll pull out the script to the game and start reading the script to figure out why the hell things are going on. And there's the stuff like that that's really, really awesome. But yeah, and unfortunately, like, just gets hung up on some gameplay stuff that you would think would be really avoidable. And this, like, High Moon Studios isn't a bad studio. These are the guys who did, I liked War and Fall of Cybertron. I thought those were both good games.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Transformers games. I also like the parts where, just as in Duke Nukem, you'll stumble upon little interactive tidbits that are funny. And within the cutscenes, you can press... there's a part where you're punching Wolverine and you can choose to like stop, but you can also continue going. And that dialogue in that part, if you continue hearing the whole thing out, is fucking hilarious.
Every time I had an option to do those interactive things, I would always keep going. I always just wanted to hear what the hell he was gonna say next. Like,
right.
And that's like I said, credit to the writers. Like the fact that I always wanted to hear it. I got to the end boss and I was super, super frustrated. Like just because I was getting hang up on a lot of gameplay stuff. The end arena is just awful, but I kept soldiering through it because I'm like, there's going to be some jokes that'll pay off. Like,
exactly, like Blood Dragon.
Yeah.
What have you played? Anything else? You said you played Fire Emblem.
I played a lot of Fire Emblem. That game, the gameplay in that is actually the exact opposite of Deadpool. The gameplay in that is fantastic. It's really, really awesome. The story is ridiculous. I've actually, like I said, I was watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer this weekend, and that's how I watched it. Was I was playing Fire Emblem with the sound off, kind of reading cutscenes when they come, or turning up the volume whenever there was an important cutscene, and then just turn off the volume and play the game while I was watching Buffy.
When I got my 3DS, I was looking at that because you mentioned it, and I know it's like the Fire Emblem series is pretty big. I'm not in the mood for that right now. Like Deadpool was perfect for what I need.
I feel you
at this moment. Like, I don't know, and Animal Crossing, but
yeah, there's a few things I'm trying to soldier through right now. But actually, like you said, coming off The Last of Us, it's really hard to find what you want to play next because either you're going to jump into something, you're going to be like, well, this isn't as good as what The Last of Us was, or you're going to jump into something, say like, oh, this is just too heavy coming off The Last of Us.
They need to make a new category for games like Last of Us and BioShock Infinite. They need to call them something else.
Yeah, like the fucking dominant category. Like, play this game, it's going to dominate your life for 2 weeks, and then move on.
I'm telling you, when I finish BioShock Infinite, obviously, you guys know I'm a huge fanboy of BioShock, but I feel like I couldn't play a game for a week. Like, I immediately started playing it on 1999 mode. Like,
and that's the problem that I have, like, because I finished games like BioShock Infinite or The Last of Us, and I want, like, you guys should have seen, I was a fucking wreck. Because I hadn't slept, because I, like, played that all in one night.
Yeah, you marathon that game.
Yeah, and then I was just, like, I was awake the next day, and I was like, what do I fucking do? And I, like, kind of picked up the controller and thought about, like, playing, like, starting immediately over on New Game Plus, and then I was like, no, I just can't emotionally do that right now, especially with the way that The Last of Us opens. Like, that's what always stops me up about playing The Last of Us again, is I'm like, I have to do that opening again. And do I really want to sit, like, not that the opening's bad. The opening is just immediately a kick to your heart. And so I'm like,
most of that game
I really
is.
want to watch that. Yeah, that's true.
So, like, it sucks because when you know what to expect, I guess it's more like, it's almost like getting punched in the face. Like, you'd almost rather just get punched without knowing you were going to get punched.
Exactly.
The game was pretty long too. I can't believe you did that one night.
No, 2 nights. right?
Did you guys have that moment where look, we're backtracking to talk about this game again? The moment where the end of fall is the super emotionally charged moment, and I had forgotten that there were even seasons. And like, the end of fall happens, and then it like cuts into winter, and I was like,
"Oh yeah.
One fucking month or one season? That was one season."
Yeah.
Like I was
also just thinking that like when they cut into winter right there, I was actually gonna be upset with the game. The way that it, I just feel like, it doesn't turn out the way that they make you think it's gonna turn out.
Yeah.
But if it was gonna go like that, and they were going to end the fall that way. I'm being very vague right now because I can't say anything, especially this part of the game. But it would have been horrible. Would have been really shitty. Would have ruined the game.
People often make the comparison that Naughty Dog makes movies as like game movies, but this actually felt more like I don't think that comparison works for this game, anyways. But this would be almost like a mini series. Like it almost feels like there's 4 episodes. As opposed to, there's no way you can narrow this down to one movie.
I saw discussions on forums. People like, they're going to have to make a Last of Us movie. Like,
no.
Yeah, but like, what the fuck? It's a movie. It already is. What you need some other experience? Like,
that's like whenever they talk about making Uncharted or Assassin's Creed movies, like those games are already so cinematic in and of themselves. Like the genres or the video games have gone so cinematic in so many ways.
You don't need them. You're only setting yourself up for heartbreak to know that it's not going to be anything
so
like it.
Heartbreak. Yeah,
heartbreak.
Either they very much like dogmatically stick to what's already been done, and you're like, oh well, I saw this already, or they're going to change it, and you're gonna be like, well, this isn't what I fell in love with, and yeah, people are dumb.
Right. Well, they have Fassbender is gonna be.
Yeah.
Well, hey, what about the Super Mario Brothers movie? That was good.
I love that movie. It was just like the game.
Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo's finest performances of their career.
Oh, man.
I think Bob Hoskins is quoted of saying that movie ruined my acting career.
Dennis Hopper was in that movie. He was King Koopa. King Koopa was a dude with a funny haircut.
Yeah.
And then you saw Yoshi. Everyone was like, oh, it's Yoshi. It's like it's not Yoshi, man. If you did a Mario movie, it'd have to be like, CG. It'd have to be, obviously back then, it'd be a little fucking, it'd be like the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Swing your hips from side to side.
Come on, let's go.
Do the Mario.
Have you guys seen the animated Zelda series that came with that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And Ganon, was it the pig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
We had them on DVD when we lived in Florida. We used to watch them.
Yeah, that's right. We did. If you save up GameStop points, you can get the DVD from Zelda. Just letting you guys know.
Bring back those great memories.
Yeah, they were good memories. I remember I saved mine on VHS, and I had these Mario temporary tattoos, and I put them on the VHS tape to make sure I knew.
Watching those Zelda cartoons now kind of make me feel uncomfortable.
Why?
I don't know. There's something about them that just makes me feel. I don't know.
They were definitely budget. Like, during that time, there were so many of those animated style cartoons that they were like 3 frames a second, or 2 frames a second.
I just feel icky when I watch it. I'm like, ugh. Come on.
Does it remind you of like a bad part of your childhood, or?
No, I just it doesn't look that good,
No,
there's a lot of shows you go back and they don't hold up very well.
I mean, there was a lot of animated series. Like, didn't Mortal Kombat had an animated series?
Yeah, which is exactly one of those things where like I remember really digging that as a kid, and then I was doing I was looking on Wikipedia about it, and they're like, critics panned it. They gave it like a 3.1 out of 10. I was like, oh, I guess that was awful. I remember it being awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they never stayed canon. Like, if you go back to them, you would watch that as a kid, like, oh, I hope he does that thing. Like, I hope Scorpion does the get over here move. And then, like, next thing you know, Scorpion's doing something that the writer doesn't even know Mortal Kombat, just is using these characters as device. It's the same thing with all those fucking animated series. G.I. Joe.
Hey, guys.
G.I. Joe.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Did you hear that Xbox, they took back everything they said they were going to do with DRM?
Hey, that's kind of important. What?
You guys hear about that? I just
What?
found out about it.
What?
Yeah, breaking news.
So it turns out, I can't believe we waited this long to get into the podcast to talk about it. We're so excited to talk The Last of Us and Deadpool. I don't know. Yeah, last week. You know what it was? It was because we released the podcast the day before this happened.
Yeah.
So it's almost like it's old news now. But Microsoft lifted all of their DRM policy. They caved in. They caved into the internet. They got their legs chopped out from underneath them, and they.
God.
So
I wish.
See that I know we're about to.
I wish we would have just podcasted a day later. I'm just so out of energy of talking about this.
It's okay.
Been talking about it for a goddamn week.
Imagine Microsoft, huh? They're probably out of energy.
Yeah.
They gave up. How do you feel about all this, Josh?
Man, let's have Josh talk about it. Josh, what do you think?
I wrote a opinion article about it, and like I very much understand why a lot of people are saying like it's good for the industry, DRM is bad, and like I get it, I get the argument, but just like when we were talking about this stuff before, we were all saying like Microsoft's message is really bad, yes, but I hope that they're gonna have to win back consumers with inventive ideas in order to get this always online thing to work. That was constantly what we were saying.
Yeah.
And instead of getting something new and exciting, which is what I'd like to think we all hoped for, like instead of seeing
we got PlayStation again with an Xbox
Exactly.
controller. Yeah.
If you like, and I still say that if anyone is if anyone's like, oh, DRM is gone, I can play my used games, I don't have to always be online. No, I'm definitely buying an Xbox One. Then you really don't fucking get it. Why are you going to Xbox One now when they needed the PlayStation 4 to happen to change their policies? Why go to someone who had to like change their policies? Why not just go to the person that was going to do that anyways? Like when I placed my pre-order down, I think I mentioned this maybe to you guys or just to friends in passing. Like I put my pre-order down for the Xbox and I came away and I was like, I am buying this console, investing in the future. I think that the future of Microsoft is going to be awesome. I think that it's going to be I think they're going to find ways to bring people back. They're going to find ways to make this always online thing work. And now I think they've made it clear that they just don't fucking have a vision, that they got scared and they're like, well, we don't know how we're going to win back customers. Better just go backwards. And
they could have fixed the whole thing with just like another press conference and just got someone who's good at talking to come out in front and just explain everything in detail and make it more like friendly and commercial. But look, and like take all the questions, like go online, take all the questions people have, all the hate, all the tweets, and be like, if you're worried about this is why we're doing that. And if you don't think about, this is why we're doing that. You have to think ahead a little bit, They really, and I was just super disappointed when I heard that they were just gonna default back to what everyone else is saying, because them being, Microsoft, they should be the ones they shouldn't cave into us. They should know better than us,
Yeah, exactly.
It shows that they're weak, and that was my least favorite part about all this. I'm glad everyone is like, oh, we won. That's it. We took it down. We fought City Hall, but I can't help but think that, like, okay, you had a major corporation cave for you. I'm glad that feels great, but it's almost the same thing as if you fought the government collapsed. Who's going to run the country now?
It's also super short-sighted because everyone's like, oh, we got this one victory, but people still aren't acknowledging, like, there's still massive issues between self-publishing. There's still, the Kinect is bundled into it. Like, Microsoft is saying, we listened to you, we took your advice, and now we did this.
Of course they say that.
Exactly, but
it's
to be honest,
the BP thing all over again. It's like, well, we're sorry, please come back. Like,
well, realistically, I mean, it sounds like, yes, they're lifting the DRM policies, but they're also releasing a lot of games that require DRM.
Yeah.
So they're going to make it, the publisher gets to choose if they're using it or not. So what they're doing is they're sort of just lying a little bit to everyone. They're like, we're going to lift this stuff, but realistically, if you're going to get the games, the exclusives, you're going to be online all the time. You're going to have to always be online.
Well, and look, like, I mean, coming off the show floor of E3 this year, I mean, the most talked about games are The Division, Destiny, like, games that are going to require always online connections. How many times did we see the fucking camera pan up to see that, oh my God, you're actually playing with 80 million people?
Yeah.
And like, that is the future. Like these are like publishers are taking that initiative to do those things. Oh, Titanfall's the other one. This little game called Titanfall that like got more nominations from the Game Critics, Association than fucking anyone before. And like it's gonna happen. And like kicking and screaming always online is going to be something that happens.
It's going to.
It's like that's gonna happen. Like I'm sorry guys, but eventually that, like, look, that's how music pretty much works, right? I mean, I guess you can go out and buy a CD if you want to live in, 2002, but for the most part, people buy their music digitally. Movies are going to go the same way. We're going to get there, and instead of kicking and screaming to get old policies reinstated, we should be kicking and screaming to get new policies reinstated that make things better.
New policies instated.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, that's a perfect way to describe it, Josh, because we're hindering growth by not allowing for maybe these ideas that are a little bit ahead of themselves. Maybe they need to, like you said, maybe they need to be put into place before we catch up and then we sink. It sinks at that point. Just because we're behind doesn't mean we have to take on policies that are still behind where we are.
Yeah.
I can't help but to think that this is a hindrance on the industry, and I'm glad, like you said, the perfect word is short. What did you say before? Short-sighted?
Short-sighted, yeah.
Yeah, just short-sighted.
I think Microsoft should have just took this on the chin. They should have said, you know what? They don't know what's best for them. We do. We're going to take the release on the chin. We're going to lose some money in the beginning, but once people see what we're going to do and what this console is capable of, and what our marketplace is capable of in the future, they will buy a console.
I couldn't agree more. Like, they it's not like Microsoft is like they're on the verge of financial ruin. Like Microsoft is doing all right as a company, and the games division makes up 10% of Microsoft as a company. So I totally agree. Take it on the chin and push things forward. People always like to say that people speak with their wallets. Like, more pre-orders were getting placed for the PS4, so obviously the Xbox One lost. But to that same degree, like, no one has ever created a completely revolutionary idea or completely revitalized an industry by adhering to dogmatic ideas, by just making sure that everyone is happy. Look at what Apple has done with the iPhone and the iPad. There wasn't focus testing for them. There were just initiatives that they did, and they were amazing.
Yeah, they're scared. People are scared of change. I mean, that's such an old, archaic just saying for people who are scared of change, but they completely are. And
look at what the Oculus Rift is doing. It wasn't like people were clamoring for VR games and being like, we need this. The industry's screaming for it. But people are like, hey, we got a really great idea and we know how to implement it. And everyone loves it. Everyone's talking about how great the Oculus Rift is. Yeah, it just, I don't know. Sticking to old policies never move things forward.
And nobody even tried it. That's what's strange. It's just it was never put into practice before it was scrutinized to death, to obliteration. I mean, just a few days after E3, before they rescinded everything, obviously, the details of the family sharing plan were coming out, and everyone was like, "Yeah, I guess that's pretty cool." But wait, tell me the detail. And slowly but surely, all these really positive things were coming out, and that the DRM thing was still looming. So eventually they kicked it, but when they kicked it, they had to get rid of the family sharing plan and any of these innovative ideas that were going to be beneficial for the consumer.
Yeah,
it's scary to think that the Vox Populi, power to the people, but we can affect things in bad ways and we just don't even know.
Most people are really stupid.
Yeah, that's what scares me.
Especially the ones who complain on the internet.
It's the mob mentality. And I talked about this the day of E3, just how much venom is out there, and it's corrosive, man. It's not always good.
You know what it really reminds me of? It really reminds me of the Mass Effect 3 ending debacle, where a ton of people said, we hate this ending, and they changed it, and basically, now people go, oh yeah, I guess that was the thing.
Right.
And
exactly.
we all these people stood up and started this massive petition to get the ending changed, and by the time that Mass Effect 3 actually ended with their last DLC, I forget what the hell it was called, but like where everyone's throwing a party for Shepard or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it was the corniest ending ever, but no one gave a fuck because it was like already it wasn't a news cycle thing anymore. It was just
how dare you? Like how these people spend all this time and all this money making a game, and because you're not happy with the end, like
right? Isn't that insane?
It's not up to you.
That's
not
insane.
Your fucking game.
That's artistic license. You do whatever the fuck you want. And if people don't like it, people are just worried about sales and stuff. It gets in the way of the agenda of the higher ups. Like someone's hiring these writers and these artists to do what they have to do.
That's the one good thing about the indie market, that because you'll never see that. You'll never see people. You'll never see people be like, I don't like the way Limbo ended.
Well, you see how Phil Fish, he's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't like what happened with Fez. Change that. Like, no, that was that's how I meant for it to be. That was my whole vision, and that's what you get.
And once people get away with one thing, like it's going to be inevitable. Not inevitable. It's going to happen constantly. It's going to be it's going to proliferate. It's going to just constantly happen now, where people think they can get away with changing. You know what's bad? It sounds good. It sounds good, like the people have a voice and we're making change. But like Greg said earlier, most people are fucking dumb, and they get into the crowd mentality, and their opinions meld together to form this just hate ball.
And we really didn't change that much. The policies, there's still a lot of policies from the Xbox One that have remained unchanged that really hinder, that are the actual problems for the Xbox One. On top of that, so talking about people inflicting change and stuff like that, they were talking, Neil Druckmann, the guy who wrote The Last of Us, was talking about the game. And the game's ending focus tested terribly. All the focus tests said, this is terrible. No one fucking likes this. Everyone, like people at the studio were like, this is terrible. We don't fucking like this. And the end, and now that game comes out and is getting 10 out of 10 scores everywhere because he had a vision. He stuck with his vision. When people said he didn't like it, he said, fuck you. I'm going to do what I want. And look, it's hard to argue with the success of that.
But that's the shit that shakes people up. I mean, like, I use that phrase, but it's like, it's from the Doors. It's Jim Morrison. It's just people when the Doors first came out with their new style of music with Jim Morrison and stuff, people were like, what the fuck are you doing to music? And eventually he lived and died as a legend. Gregg is a musician. He knows more than anybody. I do art. Like, it just, you have to fucking break the mold, and you have to shake people up, make them feel uncomfortable, and in the end, they'll understand that, like, the evocation of emotion is the most important thing. Like, to make someone feel uncomfortable and question their beliefs and values and just completely question their life is so much more important than making them happy or making them sad. Like, to force someone to reassess themselves. And I think that's, to bring it back around, when people introduced these new ideas with Xbox, immediately they went, bad, this is bad. And no one really listened to, maybe we should see what they try. I mean, we have a PS4, so it's okay. We'll still get our games. Let's see where they're going. Why did we have to get so mad about all this? Yes, they failed as a business to provide information to their consumers. That was undoubtable. They did such a terrible job. But who knows, once the ideas got into practice, if it wasn't something revolutionary that we're never going to see now.
Breathe, John.
Yeah, I mean, especially you look at that, especially the fact that I don't blame the people for this. Like, people are reactionary. People are going to say what they're going to say. And, Microsoft communicated poorly. I really have problems with Microsoft coming out of this. I really point the finger at them and say, why did you cave? Why did you have to do this? And I understand the decisions get made super, super high level, and they trickle down, and they have to deal with what they're given. But at some point, how do you not just say, like, look, like you said, Greg, why don't we just sit everyone down and explain it? And what I actually think the problem is with that is inside, they probably didn't know. They must not have known how this was going to work, or if they did, it wasn't very well communicated within the company, because eventually someone just came in and went hand of God on the whole thing and just said, fuck it, get it out of here, let's start over. I just think it shows a lack of vision. You got to have a vision. They had to have had some idea on, like, someone had to have been rolling around something in their head for this to get greenlit.
When Xbox 360 came out, it was a very, very clear vision, and it showed, and it showed in the numbers, and it didn't. You know, PS3 did not have one, and it's so. I mean, I think you nailed it, man. It's just the vision going forward with it, and communicating that vision to have people follow you in line, to follow suit, and say, "Come along with us. We have a vision. We're going to show you. We're going to make things better for you."
And you look at PlayStation. PlayStation 4 got to where they are today because of what they went through with PlayStation 3. If you love PlayStation 4, it only happened because of because PlayStation 3 fucking took its lumps for 3 years.
I tell everyone, PS3 took it on the chin when they came out. I think Microsoft should have done the same thing this time around.
Exactly. You know, instead of caving, get better. Don't say I'm sorry. Do something better.
Right.
That's it. I've said all I gotta say.
It's super frustrating, and no matter what dimension you look at it, it's I would really like to have seen where that might have taken us in 5-10 years time, or at the end of this cycle, where we might have been at in terms of like the next generation of console gaming. Like maybe, I mean, you obviously the predecessor defines the future, so I just can't help but to think this puts, no matter who thinks they won, this put a huge hindrance on, I think, us moving forward and what we're going to see in the future.
People can just keep buying stuff on Steam.
Yep.
They're doing it right. Steam's doing it right still.
Yep. Shit. So that's
all
that.
up.
Yeah, I played Super Mario, Super Luigi Wii U.
Okay.
Yeah, played that game, huh?
Yeah, so I actually played that a little bit also, you know?
Yeah, you played it a little bit, huh?
I beat a boss for you and saved it. I think you got upset.
I didn't get it. I wasn't upset.
You sound a little like, oh, I just bought that game. I didn't even get to play it yet. And you already saved.
Well, okay, Greg, I was real upset because I got up to that boss, and I don't know in Mario games how to beat the boss.
You jump on the head 3 times.
Oh, shit. Really?
That's how you beat all of them. You jump on the head 3 times.
Yeah.
They usually just do the same thing. They usually stand up and they waddle and then they spin. They have spikes on their back sometimes. You just jump on the head 3 times and they kill them. Pretty simple stuff.
Yeah, so it's pretty much more Mario platforming, only Luigi jumps higher and he slides more, and he totally throws you off the controls when you're playing him because it's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a Mario game with a Luigi skin on it.
Yeah, and they added a bunch of new levels for what it's worth.
It's not worth anything.
You have to beat each level in a minute, which is kind of cool. Well, not a minute, 100 seconds.
Who cares?
I like my Mario platforming games.
Yeah, well, you can just buy one and you have them all. You know,
that's true. You're right. The next one's got a cat suit in it, though.
The only good Mario game ever made is Super Mario 2. It wasn't even supposed to be a Mario game.
Doki Doki Panic.
Fucking acid trip. They need to remake that for fucking Wii U.
You know what's fucked? Like, that game was not supposed to be a Mario game, but a lot of the animated series took cues from that game.
Yeah.
Like with Birdo and I don't know, all that, the turnips.
Because it was the best one.
Throwing turnips.
They need to just make a Wii U version of that game. Something a little twisted, you know? Start off falling from the sky. You don't even know where you are. You got mushroom guys everywhere.
I like the enemies in that game a lot. I like the enemy. I like the mask guys. And then you go into the potion door. Like, what a fucking... The reason that they got rid of that game and made it a fucking Mario game was because they thought the Mario game that they made was too difficult for Americans. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah. They thought it was too difficult because we're fat and dumb and stupid.
Well, they're not wrong there.
No, they're not.
I feel like Greg is just having a party back there.
He is. He's jumping up and down.
I was
like
switching
Mario.
between a bass and a piano. I had a whole thing going there.
What was kind of cool about Mario 2 is it was almost a class system where it was like Mario did.
Yes.
Luigi jumped a little higher.
You float with Princess.
Princess could float. That
Toad
was
did
the original.
Weird. You hold down with Toad and he like blinks. That's it, right? He doesn't really do anything. He just blinks when you hold down.
I don't know.
He had like the worst ability.
I don't know. And those magic flying carpets.
Magic flying carpet. It's about to become magic flying dinner. What do you mean, Daddy? You can't eat carpet. Of course, you can't just boil it.
Aquatine Hunger Force.
Soft.
I want to be called spaghetti.
Now put your respirator on. I had to pull a lot of strings to get you a job at the plant.
Chicken or rice? Chicken. Yeah.
Chicken.
Any other games, Josh?
No, I'm done.
No,
you sound miserable.
You seem pretty tired today.
What are you doing, Josh?
Well, Josh had a couple of beers before he got on the podcast.
He said he had 2
I did
drinks.
not have beers. I had Jack and Cokes. But
So I was going to say, when he said drinks, I pictured an umbrella and like a big, huge glass.
Well, what happened, Josh, is you're coming down off that caffeine from the Coca-Cola.
Probably. I'm on my way down. I'm circling in for a landing.
You know, I can tell when Josh is down because the inflection at the end of his speaking changes. It becomes very indifferent. It becomes very lethargic.
I know. I know what the real problem is.
Go ahead.
Here.
No, wait. Hold on. Before you do that, Greg, pretend I'm Josh real quick. Go ahead. Ask me something, Greg.
I'm going to be John?
Yeah, you be... Oh, no, because now you're going to make me sound like a dick.
No, I'll be you.
You be Greg. I be Josh.
I'll be John. Hey, so I had a couple minutes this weekend, and I was playing this game, and it was just unbelievably spectacular. It was just it was blowing my mind, and I had so many I can't think of the word that I wanted. It's Josh, you played it, right? Didn't you? What did you think of it, Josh?
Oh, I'll be Greg. Hold on. Ready?
Wait,
everybody
what the
be
fuck?
quiet. Everybody quiet. I'm going to be Greg real quick. Ready? Yeah.
What the fuck? You're supposed to be Josh.
No, because you
get uptight right
I see
away.
what
You
you're
get
doing.
upset.
No, I see what
I
you're
feel
doing.
like John's wandered off script here.
No, I'm supposed to do Josh impression, but Greg uses it as an opportunity to just do like a little John impression for a few minutes.
Guys, I will write a skit for next week and be both of you. Okay.
I like that, but what I like even more is the point I was trying to get to, which is that the reason why Josh is tired is not because of the drinks he had today. It's the same reason why I'm tired. It's because it is fucking hot out today.
Yeah, it is fucking
It was a
hot.
million fucking degrees, and it was humid, and it was gross and wet outside.
How was standing on those subway platforms, dude?
Dude, the subway, it was like getting hit in the face with just fire. It was hot and
So in Chicago, we have been jumping between it being super fucking humid, and then today we had the fucking thunderstorm to end all thunderstorms. I could not get to my train stop because there was a lake around my train stop. So I walked north to the next train stop, got on there. By the time I got to work, I was drenched. So I took off my shoes and socks at my desk and just sat there and shivered.
Did you wring them out?
No, I just left them. And the AC was cranked, so it was 30 degrees inside. So now all my clothes have gone from wet to just cold, and sat there shivering like a cold salamander, just sticky and wet. And
like
gross.
a cold
salamander.
It was the worst day ever. I was so pissed.
AwayCast 003, The Tale of the Cold Salamander.
Ooh, I like that.
We're going
That's
back
a good
in
name.
the past.
Isn't that what it is? Oh, 013.
There you go. And I like how you're adopting my numbering method as well.
It's numbered like a Final Fantasy game. It's 0013 VI66.
Yeah, it's versus Einhander. Not Einhander.
HD remix.
What was the other? I don't know. HD.
World Ends With You.
Yeah. Cloud.
What else do we have to talk about tonight, guys?
Games, video. Something comes out today.
Really?
Yeah, something came out today, actually. It might have been an iOS game. I don't know. You can get XCOM on your phone now, on your iPad.
XCOM's awesome. You should you should play that game. B, I don't think you should play that on your phone.
I wonder. I really
atrocious.
wonder how they ported that over. I wonder how.
Yeah, I can imagine
It's
being
just
alright
like
on
Candy
iPad,
Crush.
Oh, dude! If I hear one more fucking person ask me to play Candy Crush, I swear to God, I can't fucking take. Do you play Candy Crush, Josh?
No, I don't know.
Oh my God!
I've never even.
Feel free to berate
I've
it.
only seen people play it on the subway. I don't know.
Dude,
much about
everybody, there's people at work. I hope they don't listen to this. People at work, they're like, "Oh, I'm at a level 150. Oh, I hope you give me lives." Blah blah blah, and they don't realize that they're playing this fucking game that's just crack. It's just fucking crack.
Where
We keep wanting more listeners, but maybe it's better if they don't listen because we
Yeah,
make
don't.
fun of them.
Yeah, don't.
It's just another one of those Bejeweled games. It
Yeah,
looks
it's a-
like the
it's a
same.
match-
Just
it's a match three, yeah.
Match 3. I mean, and why is this one so much better than the other ones?
The woman comes into work. She's like, "You playing, huh?" To her other friend, she's like, "You guys playing? What level you're at?" I'm stuck. Can you give me some? Can
It's
you
like
give
their
me some
first
lives?
time doing levels. That's
Yeah.
what it is. Most people they don't play games like, oh, level. Oh, I'm level 11, level 12. I can keep going.
And-
I want to see what level Susie's at. Am I at a higher level than you, Susie? Oh, we're all leveling up. Send me lives. That's a new concept for me. Free lives. Oh.
During E3 on satellite radio, they did Sirius XM did satellite coverage of E3, believe it or not, which was pretty crazy. And they had the developer for Candy Crush on when I was driving to work, and just listening. He's like, "Yeah, we got some new downloadable levels coming out. We got all this crap." I was just like, "Oh my god, can't believe it."
He is so rich.
Yeah, I know. Fucking Angry Birds, Candy Crush,
Baby games. That's what they call them. Baby games.
like Animal Crossing, right, Greg?
Yeah.
You guys are experts at baby games now.
Josh, did you open your fucking gate so I could come hang out?
Oh no, I just finally got my goddamn building permit, so I'm just finally getting that shit together.
Did you go to Greg, I went to the island with the singing guy on the boat.
Yeah, what did he sing about?
He sang about a bug. He was like, "Don't squash the bug."
Apparently he has 10 different songs that he sings.
Yeah, it was neat. But that island's fucking. I was hoping it would be bigger. You can't use your own tools. You had to borrow your other tool. I don't know. I think eventually you run out of shit to do in Animal Crossing, and you're just keeping up at that point. Like it's just upkeep. It's like
what
SimCity.
else would it be? What else would you do in a game like that?
What's the appeal for Animal Crossing is that different days they do different things. Like Josh, I told you to go in on the summer solstice.
Yeah, and I got my sunglasses.
Yeah, like if you went in on the summer solstice.
Actually,
like a
I was
special
really
day.
pissed because that was the day I was supposed to get my goddamn building permit. Show up and they're like, "Oh, it's a party. We can't be handing out cards today." And I was like, "Fuck you, Isabel."
Oh man, you got
really,
fuck
that's really how it works. Like, oh, we're having a party today, so the regular game cannot be played. You will not get
Exactly. They'll have a bug catching contest, something like that. Like, let me tell you, Animal Crossing knows how to party. Things go to shit if there's a party. Like,
Shut it down.
The building shuts down. Xbox starts going back on their promises. It's ridiculous.
It's all fucked up. Ugh. But yeah, I gotta open my gate. You gotta come check out my town. My house is big now. I got lots of cool shit.
Yes, this will happen. I'll get my building permit shit sorted out tonight.
I just go on once a day and get my fortune cookie at least, and I play for like 15 minutes, and I'm done.
It's like a coffee shop you visit.
Yeah, it is. I go in, I get my
coffee shop.
I get my my grande dark roast. And I go on with my day.
Do you at least get to your mayoral office and sit in your chair?
Nah, I don't go to work.
Yell at Isabel.
I don't go to work. I don't go to work.
That.
I go straight to the islands. Whatever.
You're a great mayor. Everyone elect John Azalona for your officials.
Fuck that, man. It's a good game. It's probably just. I would just talk shit about Candy Crush. It's probably just fucking like that.
Yeah.
As an outsider, when I think of Candy Crush, I also think of Animal Crossing.
Oh. Well, you think very generally then. I feel bad for your soul.
Considering you just said they're practically the same thing.
I didn't say they're practically the same thing. I said imagine, like that's probably what somebody on the outside would think.
Why would you say that though if you didn't think so?
I do think that someone on the outside who was not familiar with both games.
Didn't you just say that it's kind of mindless?
I never said it was mindless.
Then what were you saying? Why did you say that then?
I didn't say it was mindless.
No, then why did you say that people
I'm
would
saying
think
that people. Well, it's the same reason people think Nintendo and the people that think that you call an Xbox a Nintendo. It's because people don't know.
But before, But before you said that people would compare Candy Crush to that game, you said because you feel like it's getting old and repetitive to you. Like there's nothing, you're running out of things to do.
But I don't know if that applies to Candy Crush.
Oh, so you're saying Candy Crush is probably more dynamic than
Yeah,
Animal
you know
Crossing?
what I'm really trying to say is Candy Crush is probably a way better game than Animal Crossing. So
that I can get on board with that.
Candy Crush is a teenage game. Animal Crossing, baby game.
Yeah, I can get on board with
baby
that.
Game.
I like that.
I know you can. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Gregory, thanks so much. I'm going to be with a couple of people at WizCon this weekend. If nobody that listens to this is going to be there, but if you are, I'll be giving some stuff out, some stuff to put your swag in. So I don't know. Maybe I'll see
Dress
somebody.
up like a wizard. Isn't that what WizCon? Dress up like a wizard.
Everyone dresses up like a wizard.
Sleep, lightning bolt, over and over.
Yep.
I just want to say real quickly, for those of us who made it to the end of the podcast, I don't think there's going to be an intro to this podcast.
No, you can go through, and if you find
We didn't say anything really funny.
that's okay.
Yeah, we were kind of scrounging around for material at the beginning of this one, but that's all right.
That's okay. Whatever. Craig, work your editing magic.
I have nothing.
We have been, I think, excelling at the beginning of podcasts. We put out too much good stuff at the beginning. We set the bar too high.
Definitely.
People need to start. They need to realize there can't always be amazing stuff at the beginning of the podcast.
But you know what? It sucks because all that shit's lost. All those great moments are going to be lost. Once the new one's up, no one's going back to the old stuff.
We'll see. We'll get people, I don't know.
I mean, the last one we had an abundance of funny stuff that I had to put 2
deleted scenes
at the end of the
2 deleted scenes. God, we've just been too generous. We've been too generous.
We kept using the term on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, there were two scenes that were on the cutting room. Actually, it was the beach gig, and the what was the other one? It was the guy that from high school.
That's fucking hilarious. Everyone thought it was fun. Everybody that listened to that shit thought it was hilarious, though. So,
but
it was good.
All right,
learn about it.
It was good stuff.
Hilarious.
So,
I hope they liked it.
Guys, I never say the name of our actual website. I realized I always just say AwayCast, but it's actually another way around.
Yeah, but it's AwayCast.com.
It is AwayCast.com because people will know it from the podcast, but.
Just so you're not confused when you go to the website and you see that it says another way around, you're like, am I at the right place?
Oh, what is this?
Who are these guys?
What is this?
Like the part of the AwayCast.
Some other podcast that took place to the AwayCast.
Rotating skull gifts, Zombocom, internet, web crawler, eBaum's world, www.awaycast.com.
We got great podcasts. We have the Numa video.
That's where you'll find another way around. Oh, there we go. Name dropping. Josh, thanks for hanging out this week. I know you're tired. Your caffeine wore off. Go take a nap.
Yeah, taking a little nappy nap. I don't think I work tomorrow, so that'll be nice.
Fuck you.
What do you mean you don't think you have work?
I have to check and make sure, because if I don't work tomorrow, I work on Saturday. But this is housekeeping stuff. You guys don't want to hear about this.
I gotta be at work at 8 tomorrow, so
I gotta be there whenever.
I start working every day at 7 a.m.
Oh, that sucks.
What the hell?
I don't get to work till like 9:30, 10 o'clock every day.
God.
And it don't matter.
What a world.
No, it don't. Greg, thanks a lot for being here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I love being in my apartment.
Yeah, it's good.
I appreciate being in my own apartment.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad you're here.
I'm in my own apartment. We got so much in common.
So Twitter at the AwayCast.
We're all falling asleep. We can't hold this.
Twitter
one
at the AwayCast. Subscribe on YouTube. Check out all of our cool shit. I think after this weekend we're gonna have a couple more listeners. But look forward to some new content. And that's it.
Okay.
That's it, guys.
Keep it real.
No, keep it real. I will talk to you guys this weekend. Josh, check the mail.
Oh, okay.
You've got mail.
Are you talking about my shirt? Or are you talking about Animal Crossing?
I'm talking about real life.
Oh, I only live in Animal Crossing now. That's where I eat, sleep, and bathe.
And bathe. All right. See you next week, folks.
Goodbye, everybody.